In this video, we're going to go over Pismo Beach real estate. Can it hold strong? Is it worth it? Well, we're going to break down some numbers and we're going to get to it right now. All right, this is going to be a really good one. Pismo Beach, California. It is one of the locations in California that is very well sought out after. And real estate holds really well here. And I'm going to tell you why. So if you've been contemplating moving to Pismo Beach and wondering if this price point is something that you can afford, or if you've been dreaming about it, maybe second home, moving your family here or retiring here, we're going to go over all of that and see if this location would work for you and how does the real estate hold? How is your money that you're going to invest into this property? How is it going to hold over time? So, all right, so some of the graphs that I'm going to bring up and data are going to be from our local multiple listing service of what's been going on in the last 90 days, because it's only an 8,000 population count in the area. So there's not a lot of sales. But what's interesting about Pismo Beach, and I've talked about this before in other videos, and I'll bring up some of those videos and put them in the description below for you to continue looking at some of these other videos, is there's different pockets within Pismo Beach. So Shell Beach is also on the northern end of Pismo Beach that is very desirable as well. Its own little community on the northern part of Pismo Beach. So let's bring up some information for you to get more informed and more educated about the Pismo Beach real estate market. And be sure to stay to the very end, because I'm going to have some short-term rental information that is fresh off the press from the city manager, Jim Lewis, that he just gave us recently, and you need to know about this. All right, so here is the current I did a comparable market analysis because it brings everything up. But as you can see here, 26 sales in the last 90 days from January 28th to April 28th. So I only went to that amount. Today's the April 30th because nothing closes over the weekend, and tomorrow is the 1st. So this is pretty on point for what we have going on right now in Pismo Beach. I think it's really important for you to keep your pulse on this, because it holds pretty strong. So when you're thinking about buying real estate in Pismo Beach, I think you can get a little bit excited that your value will always be there. And I'm going to show you why. So again, we've done this before in previous videos. I did the county real estate market that you can go check out. But here for our beautiful Pismo Beach, you've got the median price at $1,050,000. And then you've got your average price at $1,219,000. Now I did include condos on this one. Now the last one I hadn't. And so I want to be sure that you are aware of that. And the other thing is, I talked about, here's 147 Beachcomber, which I talked about in a previous video, and I did a whole walkthrough on that. That went in one day. This column right here, this is days on market. So if you average the days on market, median is 15 and average is 33. So relatively speaking, most of these are going out the door pretty quickly, because this is a very focused area. If someone really wants this area and wants views, and look at this column right here, this is days on market. So if you average the days on market, median is 15 and average is 33. All right, friends, so let's take a look at this condo here at 2727 Shell Beach Road, Unit 323. So this is a unit that is in a vacation rental building that is super prime, has a restaurant, swimming pool, spa, right on the beach on the northern side of Pismo Beach, so in the Shell Beach area, right now, and very prime, very exclusive. And this is a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet, and the monthly dues are $1,099. So there's all kinds of amenities on this one, so very prime, and that went out the door at $1,990,000. Very exclusive, very well sought out as well. for that caliber of a buyer. So you really need to be ready to jump on one of these. And that was a cash deal as well, going into escrow in 12 days. But let's go back to because of this exclusivity and because of the low inventory that we can see here, things are going out the door relatively quickly. You know, the higher end ones, well, they can take longer, but as you saw Beachcomber, that took a hot second because it was so exclusive, so well sought out. And when somebody knows the area and wants that type of caliber of property, where you have the views from the windows and all that, again, go look at those other videos. Right now, we're just going to go through the data. You can see why this is happening. So this is the average price points currently today. So it'll be great for us to keep our pulse on this moving forward. All right, another very big factor that really weighs into why Pismo Beach holds so strong in the real estate market is that the hotels bring in so much revenue year after year to the city, a lot of tourism, that it just spills over to the infrastructure. It spills over to the real estate part of it because there's sidewalks, there's improvements. Now, we don't move very fast. We are still SLO County, and that is true to, building and revamping. I've mentioned before, we've sold 6 lots in Shell Beach to a local builder, and those will be coming up. I will definitely keep you informed of those as they roll out and get you pricing, breaking ground probably in the summer. But these just hold really nicely. These hold real estate prices and their value because of the surroundings. Up here has been revamped. So we have, our restaurants, our hotels, hospitality, and our tourism are huge. So I'm going to bring up some things for you to see what I'm talking about. Right. So last year there's a very big economic gathering that happens with a company that breaks down things for California and for our areas specifically. So this is just talking about what's been going on in 2020, 21, 2022. And of course, 3 straight years of record revenues, hotel occupancies. So the pandemic was really good for our hotels and our local industry. Once everything kind of opened up again, it was ridiculous. I mean, you couldn't get a hotel room over the weekend last August. I tried to get one for my birthday, $700, $800, $900 for the night and there. So, so those skyrocketed and brought in revenue. Now, yes, everybody was hit during the pandemic, but Pismo has always been their revenue has always done really well. And even with that hit, they just came back with a vengeance, with everybody wanting to go out and do something. So this is one graph that just kind of shows you that, yes, it has just kept going up. And then I'm going to bring in another one of the tourism so you could see some numbers here that I think are going to just blow you away. All right, so I've talked about SLO Cal before. It's an organization that really helps our tourism and brings a lot of information to the consumer that's coming into SLO Cal, San Luis Obispo, California. And they brought up some really interesting information to our attention, and it kind of blew us away. I'm a member of the South County Chamber of Commerce, and they brought this to our attention, and I wanted to share this with you to show you some numbers. If you like it or not, tourism is a huge thing in our community. So let's just start off with, the people that it puts to work every day. It's, 19,000 jobs are because of the tourism. Then without tourism, here you have this number. Without tourism, each SLO Cal household would need to spend an additional $16,753 to create the same community benefit. So it's part of the GDP. So, that's 8%. That's pretty big. So they'd have to tax our community more without this type of revenue. So these top numbers are really what tells you what it's bringing in here into our area. So 1.78 billion with a B to our direct community investment. to travel brings to our area. Also, here's the tourism, has what SoCal's tourism industry has earned is $760 million. So this is huge. This is a huge number. So when you're looking at real estate in Pismo, now I know we don't have like those high paying jobs, we've gone over that before, the cost of living video, but this is to talk about why your real estate is going to hold strong in Pismo Beach. So tourism is a huge factor with that. And here are the numbers to prove it. This was given out by SLO Cal. And we've got some numbers here. And, these are pretty big for a little town that's of 8,000 population. All right, so here is something that I really want to share with you. This was compiled by our city manager, March 1st of 2023 at our local chamber. It was nice enough to provide these slides over to us. And I'm going to point out a couple of things that I also feel are some of the reasons that real estate holds strong in Pismo Beach. You're going to see how much the city of Pismo Beach puts into their community, and you can see where the money's coming from and why tourism and hospitality is so important. So if that's an occupation you've been thinking about moving to the area, and that's something that you have, hotel management, if you've been thinking about opening up a business and you can find something, a commercial building in Pismo, that could be something that you could, definitely move into the area. Now, it also has very, very good schools. Shell Beach Elementary, that's where my kids went. And valedictorians have come out of that school year after year. It's a small school and very diverse because you have different spectrums of wage earners, because you have the waitress, hotel bartender, whatever, with kids, or renters in the area. And then you have the high caliber business owners, executives that also live in Pismo Beach. So it's a cool little diversity there. So let me bring up some of the things that I want to show you here. I really liked how our city manager laid out what are the priorities for the city of Pismo Beach. And I think these also really sustain our real estate market on what types of improvements these cities are doing moving forward. So water was a big one for our area. Now we have also talked about the rains that have come about this last winter, and our numbers are just really, really good. However, we still want to preserve as much as we can. Being in California, that's not going to change overnight. So we want to, just because we're feeling good, we're looking good, the numbers are good, we still want to be conservative in our water. So again, just looking at this graph, these are their priorities: police, quality of life, traffic, beautification, paving, parking. Parking is one of the things that we hear a lot from people coming into town and from our businesses. So they're doing some revamping on one of the main streets down in Pismo, facilitate more spaces. So parks, homeless, obviously that's throughout California. They are revamping our police station. That's a huge, huge thing. The building's pretty outdated, so something beautiful is coming up out of that. That's all in the works and breaking ground soon. Right, so now we've got Central Coast Blue. This is a huge project that they've been talking about with our neighboring areas to make a new water supply for our area. So that's in the works. Then here's their goals, which I really love. So invest in neighborhoods, including roads, sidewalks, and park improvements. Now they are going to be doing some bigger tennis courts, and for pickleball, that's coming up in Ventana. So if you're thinking of moving to the area and love tennis, love those types of sports, there's going to be a court coming up there. And so Ventana, like I've talked about, there's different pockets of neighborhoods in Pismo Beach. I mean, Pismo Beach, there's different neighborhoods. And I said I have a video about that. So, you can have a place that's away from downtown, Pismo Heights up above, which I've done videos on. And that's all. Those are, homes perched up on the hill, but you're not in downtown Pismo, but can get to it. So that's a cool little area there. So you got to really explore Pismo Beach if you're thinking of moving over here. But again, they're going to do some updates. Just real quick, just reminding you that my name is Vernice and I am a local real estate broker here on the Central Coast. We talk about real estate and lifestyle in this channel. And so be sure to give us a like if you have learned something or have found something of value, and it helps other people get the information in front of them that are researching, helping them save some time and money. Then yeah, give us a comment. Let us know what you're thinking. We love hearing are you thinking of moving to Pismo Beach or another scenic beach area perhaps that you want to know more about. I'll break it down for you. But I've just got really good connections here with this video, so I wanted to bring this to you real recent. So hoping it helps you out. States on local coastal plan, general plan zoning codes, always the coastal commission. When you're by the beach, it's just one of those things you got to deal with. Always beautifying our areas. If you look at our signs, if you look in Shell Beach, how they revamped that whole sidewalk area. And again, I'm talking about the slow life. That project was talked about when my kids were at Shell Beach Elementary, and my oldest is 25. So, and that just got implemented a few years ago. So, all right. So if you've come into town, you've seen the Price Street parking. The current configuration is like this, and you've got 169 parking spaces, and now they want to make 2007. So there's a pilot program going on right now, and they're just making it a little bit easier for us. And then that way you're not going to be parking on the sides and blocking the businesses. So this is super exciting. James Way, which I've talked about in many videos that I love. I used to live off of James Way. Is they're going to just beautify that sidewalk area, again, upping the real estate values for you. Ventana Sports Courts, this is what I was talking about. So here's the parking, tennis courts, and then they're going to do the things for the pickleball. Getting back to our water situation. So this was where we were at. This graph shows you where we were at in November of 2022. Of course, the red not being so bueno, with our drought. And then we move along here to January 23. Now we've got a lot of yellow going on. So we are looking pretty good. Here's our area right in here. So this is really great news. However, we still want to be conservative, because just because you have so much of it, you just don't want to overuse it. But we've definitely lifted fines and restrictions. I've got a couple more things that I want to share with you about short-term rentals, and then I'm going to bring up a graph of how Pismo Beach has sustained over the years, and where we're at right now over the last few years. All right, here's the deal. Fresh off the press, if you will, short-term rentals. What is Pismo allowing? Where are we right now? Remember, this rolled out March, and here we are. There is a moratorium on new short-term rentals through June of 2023. Right now, they're just putting the brakes on it. A lot of people have not been too happy with things. Some people have taken advantage of it. So they've really had to crack down on it. Pismo is a very well sought out area. People are looking to make money. And, there are rules, and there are ways that you can, rent out your places for short-term rentals, but you really got to, follow the rules or you're going to get in trouble. So short-term rental advisory task force, there is now one. They're meeting every 3 weeks to help guide the development of ordinances updates. It consists of 2 council members, planning commissioner, current short-term rental operators, hotel representatives, neighbors of current short-term rentals. So there is going to be a new ordinance that's coming out April, May. So if this is something you're thinking about with your real estate, please reach out and stay on top of it. Reach out to a local real estate broker that's knowing what's going on. I would love to be that person for you. Just, really get informed and know that things are changing constantly. So here is what they're talking about. Ownership duration requirements before short-term rental issuance. It's got to be your primary. You got to have using it so many months out of the year. Go to the City of Pismo Beach website and look at what's there now, and then be aware of changes coming. So there is a temporary license ban for unlicensed operations, require annual inspections during probationary period. They're making sure that everything's being, in a safety manner, health and safety things are being checked out. Regulate when trash cans can be placed for collections. So they're having issues with trash cans being left out. Primary residence affidavit with revocation of violation. So if you're not playing by the rules, then you are going to not have the opportunity to have this license, this permit in place for your investment. So just be cautious, be aware, just, when too many people are taking advantage of the situation, then unfortunately they have to implement some new rules. So this is, again, fresh off the press, coming in April, May. So we are there, we should know more next month. But I want to bring up another graph here, and we're going to take a look at some numbers. All right, so here's the graph that I'm super excited to show you. This is the one that was produced by our CEO of the California Association of Realtors, our economic report that was brought to us last month. So here we go. San Luis Obispo County existing SFR single family residence median price growth for the blues in 2021, the orange 2022, and the gray current year to date 2023. Now, so here on the left, we have the price points, and here are the areas down at the bottom. So we have countywide, where the price points, the median price point was in those years. So, currently they're saying 845. I did a current CMA and I was at higher than this. In the last month, it really jumped up, and I think he cut his numbers off in March. So be aware of that. You can watch that video that I just did previously. But let's break this down. So let's look at Pismo. This is what we're talking about, right? This is kind of a fun one. I'll try to break them down in these areas. If there's a particular area you want me to do, please leave us a comment. So you can definitely look at these. Here's Paso Robles, currently at 658. Templeton, 812. Atascadero, 781. Cambria, always holding tight, 1,080,000, very exclusive. Morro Bay, 905. Los Osos, 805. San Luis Obispo, 1,020,750. And here's Pismo Beach. Let me show you this. So 2021, 1,200,000. 2022, 1,300,000. These are the median prices. Now, 2023 year to date, 1,190,000. So this is a median price point. So again, it's holding very strong. It's one of our higher price point areas. Avila Beach is not on here, but they don't have a lot of sales there too, and I bet you they're up there as well. But Pismo did have some pretty big sales this past year. There was a bluff sale from 5 million, a lot of 2-3 million. You saw Beachcomber that I just showed you, the condo for almost 2 million. And then the only thing I didn't show you this last slide with Pismo is there was sales. I think the lowest sale was 729 in that CMA that we looked at. So again, this is just something to get excited about. And the reasons that Pismo real estate holds really well is because of the things that we have just gone over. Pismo Beach holds strong. So if you're thinking of moving to Pismo Beach and looking for a place in California, then really, be at peace of mind that your real estate will hold well. So friends, the only way that we can help you find that sweet spot here on the Central Coast is you've got to reach out. You got to give us a call, text, email, day, evening, weekends. It does not matter. So until the next video, we'll catch you later.